Everyone in Cincinnati, Bengals fans everywhere, and let's be honest, the entire NFL world knows the Bengals need to protect Joe Burrow. They're taking a big step toward doing just that. We'll break it down right now on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Hi again, everyone, and welcome into CBT. I'm James Rapien of BengalsTalk.com. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, join the nearly 58,000, and this news should get us there, 58,000 subscribers on YouTube. Check us out wherever you get your podcast, whether it is Amazon, obviously you got Spotify, you got Apple. Leave us a 5-star review as well, because more Bengals fans need to find us on the podcast side so you can take us with you anywhere and everywhere you go. And let's dive in right now to the news of the day. Even though the Bengals play on Monday Night Football, the news of the day, and no, we're not talking about Trey, at least for this video. It is Dalton Risner who's coming to town. Jordan Schultz of Fox Sports was reporting this, I think first, but all the major outlets have had it since. Look, this is huge, huge news. The Bengals are bringing in Dalton Risner, who is, I would say, probably the best guard available. And in the best free agent guard, and someone that could come in at right guard and start for you right away. Someone in Risner that is established, is proven. He's a former second-round pick. He was drafted in 2019. He's 30 years old. So you're not talking about a guy who's 35. You're not talking about a guy whose play is declining. He had a 68.1 overall PFF grade last season. And you look at him as a pass blocker last year, had some really high pass blocking grades, and didn't allow a sack. And I think that's the important thing here. Pro Football Focus has Dalton Risner charged with just 1 sack in the past 2 years, and it was in a playoff game, 0 sacks in the regular season. This makes too much sense. It makes too much sense. You had Joe Burrow, certainly year in and year out, it feels like, dealing with offensive line issues. And Risner is someone that has already mentioned that he wants to play for the Bengals, that he would be open to playing for the Bengals. The Bengals are a destination. And so for them to make this call now, my response is better late than never. Better late than never. And it's one of those things that there were 2 guys I thought that could be worth it. Dalton Risner and Shaq Mason. And Brandon Sheriff retired. Fine. So it's Risner and Mason. They go with Risner, who's younger, who's still playing at as high of a level as he's played at. That's how I would put it. He's bounced around the league. Who cares? Who cares? This is a guy you're bringing in for 1 year to help protect 9. And so they're bringing him in for a visit. They haven't signed him yet, but usually when you bring a guy in for a visit at this stage of training camp, it's with the intention of signing him. Obviously, the Bengals play on Monday Night Football, so he'll be back, or he'll be in town and visiting tomorrow. I'm sure he's flying in today or early tomorrow morning. Regardless, this is huge, huge news. I have plenty of thoughts on this, what it could mean for the offensive line, how the offensive line could shake out, and the fact that they're doing this with the regular season just 20 days away. That and more coming up next. Today's video is brought to you by American Home Tech. With over 8,000 happy customers, well, homeowners have trusted American Home Tech, and it's really easy to see why. American Home Tech is your local experts that you can rely on for anything you think from a home improvement standpoint. So maybe you need a new roof. Maybe you need roof repair. Maybe you need siding. Maybe you need gutters. Maybe you need windows. Maybe you need doors. Maybe you need decks, interior remodeling. It doesn't matter. American Home Tech has got you covered. They're local. They are here. They're reliable. Check them out today at AmericanHomeTech.com to schedule your free consultation with the experts you can trust. Again, that's AmericanHomeTech.com. Dalton Risner is someone that so many Bengals fans have talked about. We talked about him last year, going into free agency as a potential fit. You talk about him this year, and whether it's fans online, whether it's me doing the free agents they can target, Risner has come up multiple times. And it just felt like they weren't necessarily interested in him. But this is confirmation, ladies and gentlemen, that they see what we see. That the things I've said about Lucas Patrick, the things I've said about this offensive line, and not just me, but if you watch these reports that we do daily at training camp, it's been an issue. It's been an issue watching this offensive line sort of shuffle through guys. And I like Lucas Patrick. I think Lucas Patrick was a solid signing. He just shouldn't be your starter. And if you look at this offensive line room and you say, all right, well, Cody Ford is your swing tackle, and you got a guy in Lucas Patrick who could back up 3 spots. He can back up both guard spots and center. There's value in that. Risner plugs in as the starting guard, and there aren't many question marks with him. He's someone that can play like a starting guard. Is he going to be an all-pro? No, but can he play at a competent NFL caliber starting level? Yes. And so now if you look at the Bengals offensive front, you'd have Amarius Mims on the right side with Risner. On the left side, you'd have Orlando Brown Jr. You'd have Ted Karras in the middle at center. And your only question mark now is a left guard, and it's with a guy you really, really like and a rookie you believe in Dylan Fairchild that you want to develop. I can live with that. That makes sense. That makes sense on paper. And for the first time this offseason, it feels like the Bengals understand what we've been saying. That's what this means. It's very much a better late than never situation. I am on board, much like I was with Noah Fant a few weeks ago when he got released. This makes a ton of sense. I wish they would have done it 20 days ago, 40 days ago, 100 days ago. But hopefully they get this done. If they get it done, it's a huge step toward protecting Joe Burrow. It's a huge step toward bolstering an offensive line that really looked like it could be an issue. And maybe it still will be. But adding a layer is huge. Adding a layer between having to go to Lucas Patrick and not is huge. Giving yourself another proven quality veteran is big time. And it takes pressure off of a fifth rounder in Jalen Rivers to be ready. It takes pressure off of all of these guys that you're hoping take a step. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Right? Maybe Amarius Mims is just solid this year and doesn't take a Pro Bowl level step. Okay. Well, if right guard isn't a complete liability like it was last year when Alex Kappa couldn't move, or this year so far in training camp, well, then that's an easier pill to swallow. One injury is an easier pill to swallow than it is if you go from, all right, well, we're going from this guy who we were already shaky with toward the next guy. Like Lucas Patrick, fine. If he's your sixth lineman, that's great. If you have a five of Orlando Brown Jr., Dylan Fairchild, Ted Karras, Dalton Risner, and Amarius Mims, and then your backups, your first two backups are Cody Ford at both tackle spots and Lucas Patrick on the interior. That's pretty darn good. Like that, I feel pretty solid about that, about the depth, about the starters, about what happens if you're in a pinch or if one of these guys gets nicked up mid-game. And you usually have 8 linemen that are active on game day. Well, those can be your first 7. And then after that, you can figure out that 8th lineman based on health, based on all the things that go with that. So this makes a ton of sense to me. This is huge, huge news. And it's really good news considering everything that's going on with Trey Hendrickson. We obviously covered that on Sunday. Make sure you check that out. There's reports about trading and all that. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think they're going to trade him. It feels like they're going to pay him. Much like this scenario, I think it's going to be a better late than never situation. But we'll see if it gets done. He is in Washington, and we are going to have you covered on Monday night after the game. So please, please, please hit that subscribe button, ring the bell so you get notified when we post videos like this. And if you're looking for more, we have a ton right now. BengalsTalk.com. A ton for you to read there. Jay Morrison, Russ Heltman, and myself have been all over it all day. It's game day. We're 20 days away from the regular season. Joe Flacco, by the way, going to start for the Browns in 20 days against the Bengals. Plenty of time to discuss that. Until next time, I'm James Rapien, Dalton Risner. Get it done, Bengals. Get it done. Thank you so much for watching Cincinnati Bengals Talk.